It has been 33 years since the Family and Medical Leave Act was passed. Yet when an employee requests time off for a serious medical condition, many employers still scramble to figure out their legal obligations. To process a leave request accurately from start to finish, you need a reliable system. We are going to build a bulletproof 6-step framework for managing the FMLA process. A single mistake in calculating leave eligibility or missing a paperwork deadline exposes an organization to Department of Labor fines and employee lawsuits. Mastering this framework protects your business from those liabilities. Step 1 is determining if your company is legally required to follow the law. This animated diagram illustrates the 50-20 rule. If a private sector employer has 50 or more employees working for at least 20 work weeks in the current or previous calendar year, they must comply with the FMLA. There is a clear exception to this headcount rule. Public agencies, as well as public and private elementary and secondary schools, are covered by the FMLA, regardless of their total number of employees. Step 2 involves looking at the specific employee. Just because your organization is covered does not automatically mean every individual working for you is eligible to take leave. This graphic maps out the specific 3-part test an employee must pass. First, they must have worked for the employer for at least 12 months. Second, they need 1,250 hours of service in the 12 months before the leave starts. Finally, they must work at a location where the employer has at least 50 employees within a 75-mile radius. Once an employee meets those conditions, they are entitled to up to 12 work weeks of leave in a 12-month period for qualifying life events, including the birth of a child, a serious health condition, or caring for a sick relative. For military caregiver leave, the entitlement extends to 26 weeks. Employers frequently look at their total company headcount and incorrectly assume every employee across the country qualifies. Confusing general employer coverage with location-based employee eligibility exposes companies to immediate compliance risk. Step 3 enforces the core FMLA protections. During leave, you must maintain the employer's group health insurance under the exact same terms. When the leave ends, the employee has a right to immediate job restoration. Restoring an employee to their job requires providing the same or an equivalent position. They must receive identical pay, the same shift schedule, a geographically equivalent commuting distance, and they remain eligible for any performance-based bonuses they qualified for before taking leave. Any operational adjustment that penalizes the employee for their absence is a violation. Writing up an employee or assessing negative attendance points for FMLA absences opens the door to immediate retaliation claims. Step 4 addresses how you verify the need for the absence. Under the law, employers have the right to require a medical certification from a healthcare provider to confirm a serious health condition. This timeline shows the strict deadlines for the certification process. You must give the employee at least 15 calendar days to return the initial paperwork. If they return a form that is incomplete or insufficient, you must identify the deficiencies in writing and give them 7 additional calendar days to correct the mistakes. When reviewing these forms, employers cannot ask for information outside the provider's knowledge. A recent DOL opinion letter clarified you cannot require doctors to estimate travel time to and from medical appointments on the certification form. Honoring the exact parameters of job restoration while adhering strictly to these certification timelines ensures you do not face costly claims of unlawful interference. Now, Step 5 involves your notification obligations. As this flowchart shows, once an employee requests leave, the clock starts. You have exactly 5 business days to provide them with a written eligibility notice, as well as a rights and responsibilities notice. The timeline extends further once you receive the medical certification. After you have enough information to approve the leave, you have another strict deadline of 5 business days to issue the final designation notice, which tells the employee exactly how much time will be counted against their FMLA balance. Step 6 focuses on managing the employee while they are away. You need to establish safe, compliant communication between your managers and the employee on leave. You are allowed to reach out with brief, logistical questions about return dates, documentation, or benefit premiums. You are strictly prohibited from asking for confidential medical details, pressuring them to return early, or requiring them to perform any work tasks, like checking emails or attending virtual meetings. To minimize risk, route all interactions through a centralized, documented communication channel. This creates a reliable record of what was discussed, ensuring managers get operational updates without violating privacy rules. If you miss a notice deadline, or if a manager oversteps these communication boundaries, the Department of Labor views it as unlawful interference. At that point, all of your other compliance efforts are compromised. Looking at this completed checklist, we can review the full process. You determine employer coverage, calculate employee eligibility, protect job and health benefits, manage medical certifications, meet your notice deadlines, and communicate compliantly. This system provides a dual benefit. It gives employees the stability they need to care for their health and family, while actively shielding your business from crippling legal liability. If you found this guide helpful, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and follow us for more practical training on labor law and OSHA compliance. Workplace compliance is a predictable system. It does not have to be a guessing game.